I can't believe I get to say this, but welcome to the Minimal Viable Production Show with your host, Jesse Wolfe. That's me. For those of you guys that know me, hello. For those of you that do not know me, hi, I'm Jesse. Nice to meet you. I am a serial entrepreneur, not of the actual cereal, but we'll get sound effects one day. But an entrepreneur that has, started several ventures, most of which never made it, clearly, and a few that have done okay. And I love entrepreneurship, everything about entrepreneurship. I love podcasts, I love books, I love anything I can get my hands on, that talks about business, entrepreneurship, starting businesses. And it's always been a personal dream of mine to have my own podcast and or show. I've been on several podcasts. I've been on several shows at this point in time in my life and career. But, I just had this scratch that I couldn't itch. And I was like, I've got to do a show. So, for those of you that are listening, thank you for joining and thank you for believing in our new show. Let's talk podcasts. Let's talk business. I named this show MVP, Minimal Viable Production, for a specific reason. I know, okay, we're going to be honest with each other, I know nothing at all about starting a podcast. I know nothing at all about running a TV show or a YouTube show or any type of show for that matter. I've just been on them and people have told me what to do. A lot of lights, a lot of directing, a lot of makeup. Not that your boy needs it. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the works. A lot of editing, right? Again, I know none of that. You want to start a food company? I could probably help you. You want to create a new product or start a new business? I might be able to lend an ear. I have no idea what I'm doing here. So, in business, when you want to start something new, the whole goal is to get going quick, fast. I'm a big proponent of the lean startup, and I'm a big proponent of MVP, which are minimal viable products. I obviously had to play on words and had production instead of products because I think I'm funny. So, to me, there's a lot of synergy here. Minimal viable product literally means I want to create something, we'll say a pair of glasses, and I want to get it to market as soon as possible. I want to create the best product I can in the time frame I'm allotted or budgeted for our team, and I don't want to get hung up on the little details because here's what happens when you don't use an MVP. You think you've thought through every aspect of this pair of glasses. You think you know everything that the customer wants. It's the right color, it's got the right wording on it, it's got the right lens, and you spent an extra 3 to 6 months over the allotted time to create this product. And then here's what happens, okay? You think this thing is perfect and you send it out to the masses. They get it, they buy it, they like it, and then you're gonna get flooded with maybe orders, but also feedback. And you're gonna find out real quick things you didn't even think of, right? I've got a fat head. These are not designed for fat heads. We should make a pair of glasses for people like Jesse who have fat heads. The lenses need to be a different color. The nose thing doesn't fit right. Who knows? It's a myriad of issues. So that's why you launch with MVPs, right? You get a as good as you could possibly get with your own resources available to you in a timely fashion, and you launch it, and then you let your customer tell you what needs to fix, what needs to change. Otherwise, you keep pushing it back and perfecting it and perfecting it and perfecting it. And next thing you know, a year has passed, later than what you should have launched, and you've already got 3 competitors in the marketplace running the same thing you are. And now they've got all that extra time ahead of you learning about what customers want in their glasses. So I'm a huge fan of MVPs. I'll give you a great example. When I started my hummus company in 2013, going into 2014, we were trying to design these perfect labels on our hummus tubs, and they had to have the logo, and we were only selling at farmers markets, which is the best part. So before we even launched, we spent like 3 months designing these labels for the top of the lid of these hummus tubs. And we launched in the farmer's market, and it was so damn busy right out of the gates with the success of the flavors and the business idea that we physically couldn't keep up with putting the labels on top of the hummus containers at the market. So, where we sold maybe 1,000 tubs that weekend, maybe 25 of them actually had stickers on top of them of our label. People just knew us as the hummus guys. So then that kind of became our thing, and we just went on refining the product, and then later learned, to put labels on, obviously in advance at the farmer's market. So again, I learned a hard lesson. I could have saved 3 months of time for something we didn't even use. And looking back on it, it really wasn't necessary to have this ridiculously gourmet label for farmers markets. Now, the grocery store channel, yeah, absolutely. But we could have just wrote our name on it in Sharpie, and it probably would have worked at that time because people were just that obsessed with the product, which shout out for believing in us. Or we could have done a very simple label, right? I mean, the branding really didn't matter. All we had to do was get the product to the customer, get them to like it, and give us feedback on what they liked and didn't like about the product, and hopefully direct them to social media for future updates. So, how does MVP in this show go together? Well, again, I know nothing about running a show. I have an iPad, which I've got some topics written on. I guess that's what I really wanted, like a stack of papers, like, the news journalists, the anchor man or something does, where he goes, and I'm Bill, click, click, with a stack of paper, puts it down, and we're going to turn you over to the weather now. But I don't have any papers that would be relevant, so I would just be holding random papers, and I'm not trying to do that transparency. So we got an iPad. This should work. It's going to have the ideas on it, talking points, and we're going to figure this out how it goes. I mean, this is exciting. We have a microphone. However, you're going to notice it's not plugged in. Brand new mic. I haven't figured out how to get this thing hooked up to the camera you guys are currently watching this on. So again, this is exciting. You guys are literally going to help me build this show. We are sitting in a real live, real working MVP type product. I have a microphone that doesn't have a connection, but brand new. An iPad with some ideas on it. I do have a giant coffee cup, which I think all shows have on it. It's got water. Maybe we'll upgrade that too. You'll notice your boy in the background here, okay? Minimal Viable Production with Jesse Wolfe. Again, that's me, your host. I designed that myself on Canva. Can't say that's the best thing I've ever seen, but it's up there. And we got a little logo on this screen. So we're off to the races as far as this goes. Okay. And to prove my point one better, the battery just died. So we are really learning how to run a podcast here. Or show. Whatever we're going to end up calling this thing. Let's talk about how we're moving forward. So, it's not supposed to be perfect, clearly. We've already had some technical difficulties. We do have some of the basis, good stuff. I think I want this show, I don't want it to be just another podcast, right? I don't want to just interview people and, kind of go down the same thing. There's a lot of podcasts, there's a lot of shows out there like that. I would like to talk about a myriad of things, okay? So this is where you guys are going to help, right? And I encourage you, I'm asking you, I'm kind of begging you to get on board. Let's build this show. What kind of show do you want to see? What do you want people to talk about? What would you listen to? What questions do you have? Submit those things to me, and let's talk about them. Yeah, we can have incredible people on the show maybe one day, like Tom Hanks, shout out because I love Tom Hanks. Not sure how he's relevant in business, but maybe that's a talking point. Or Bill Gates, or Jeff Bezos, or Kelly's from Kelly's Homemade Ice Cream, one of my favorite local entrepreneurs. So that's cool stuff. Like, let's talk to Kelly and see how Kelly created her business. And let's do the gamut, let's talk about everything, because I think there's a lot of cool stories that are going unnoticed. I think we could also, talk and review about business ideas, business concepts. I see a lot of stuff come through on LinkedIn. I see a lot of stuff coming off of Kickstarter. Let's kick around business ideas. We could talk about, what kind of legs they have, what kind of MVP they're working on. That's a cool idea, right? Right? We could talk about other companies' MVPs. We could talk about how they improve those MVPs to become better products. You know what I mean? And I got an idea right now. There's a whole topic I could talk about on McDonald's, and I think how McDonald's can run a better business. Would love to hear from you guys and gals on what you would want to hear as well. I also think we should talk about some good news in business. Things are tough right now. Times are not that great, not that fun. We're not having fun at the moment. So let's talk about some good news. John Krasinski's doing it for the world, but let's niche it, right? That's what we do in business. Let's talk about good business news. And then maybe every podcast we're talking about 3 topics in the business space right now. I'm also going to say a lot less going forward. Okay, so 3 topics, current events. I'll give you an example right now. We could potentially talk about how, Ruth Chris just got a bunch of heat for taking $10 or so million worth of money from the government to protect their business. We could talk about how Shake Shack just gave back $10 to $20 million for the money that the government had gave them for assistance. We could talk about what to do with your stimulus check, how to use it to start a business, right? These are all current topics that we can do on this show. And there's again. Making an appearance. Might be our first guest. And we should take a sip, because that's what talk shows do. And then laugh. Anyways, I'm excited. So, this show is our show, okay? You're part of the MVP. I would love for you to be part of this, to participate, to help build it, to help shape it into whatever it's going to become. I think eventually we can even do some YouTube Live, or actually do the show in real time. You guys can submit questions. Maybe we'll do a 1-800 number. How cool would that? Be like, hey, you're on the MVP show with your host Jesse Wolfe. What's your name, caller? That'd be cool, right? Again, we'll get the phones plugged in for that. But we're getting there. The point is, of this whole show, look at us. Look at us. Look at us. We're doing this. We're here right now. I've said it for years. One day I'm going to get around to doing one of these podcast shows. And we're here. It's not pretty. It's not perfect. But it's here. So we'll get better as we go. And I think that's going to be really fun to watch. So all of you early people that are here right now today, you're going to get to witness this from the start. How cool is that? You're actually going to be part of the reason we built it. Maybe one day we'll have a live studio audience. How exciting, right? Okay, so enough jabber about that. Let me know what you think. Comment section below. Of course I'm going to ask you. You got to you got to show your boy this is a good idea. You're going to have to subscribe, because we need you to subscribe, okay? I need you. You might need me. I don't know yet, but I definitely need you. So please subscribe. In fact, if you have a significant other, have them subscribe. A business partner, a business. If you work in a business, if you work within 4 walls, and there's other people around you, have them subscribe too. That would be huge, and a huge ask of me, and a huge thank you as well. This is exciting, right? So what better way to kick off than to talk about an MVP? That is the concept of the show. I'm your host, Jesse Wolfe. We plan on doing more of this. I think we're going to try to do a show once a week to start. Again, MVP. I say we do it on Wednesday. I think we drop it around noon on Wednesday. Every Wednesday on YouTube. And then eventually I will try to get it into podcast format. So if anybody knows how to do a podcast, that'd be great. Reach out in the comment section. Maybe give me some pointers and or help. and we can upload it to the Apple Store. How sick would that be? Or iTunes or any other podcast platform for you guys to view. But that's why, or listen to, view. That's why I wanted to start on YouTube, because if you're like me, I just let YouTube run while I work, and I listen to podcasts and stuff that are on YouTube, or I will switch over to Spotify or iTunes or whatever, and listen to podcasts. Wednesday, noon, let's start there. Let's see where that gets us. Maybe we'll bump it up to 2 or 3 times a week. Maybe we'll do 1 live, 1 recorded. It's an MVP, baby. We're getting started. This is my best assumption now. I think we're doing all right. We're here. Like I said, this has been 2 years of putting it off, but no more. So, again, like, subscribe, stay tuned. Help me out here. Thank you so much for believing in me in all my past ventures. If you've known me, and if you do not know me, again, hello. My name is Jesse, and I look forward to talking to you in the future and becoming very close friends. One last tip for the road, and good night, America.